Hey guys, what's up? This is Bry. Saturday morning, getting it on. I'm 365 a year, folks. I love what I do, feel blessed to do what I do, which was the theme of what I worked on this morning, a weekly blast to our community. Also started the note, finished this book yesterday. I want to give you a quick 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We start with the aura, as you know, every day. What's working? What needs work? What will I do to get better today? Little thing I wanted to share with you. So the first thing I do, use the restroom, etc., and then I check out my aura score. But I put on the ring charger and on top of the iPod, I put my supplements. And there's one supplement in particular that I want to start taking. And so I put a trigger on top of it, right? A little tablet thing you put into water to make it structured water for curious souls, right? So I put that on top of this, so I have to see it. Now that's a trigger, right? And we're going to go off on tiny habits, BJ Fogg. We'll do a PNTV on this soon. Unbelievably good. But the number one way to install a habit, as we will talk about and do talk about in different contexts, is make the trigger obvious. So I do that on top of my iPod, which I thought was worth sharing today. You want to do a habit? Make it super, super easy and obvious to do. Two different things, actually. Make it obvious by putting it over the thing like I discussed. Or if you want to start a meditation practice, trip over your meditation cushion when you get out of bed in the morning. Boom. Again, you want to run, trip over your running shoes. And then make it easy. Don't make yourself have to meditate for 60 minutes. Make yourself have to meditate for one breath. You can do that. You can build a habit. We'll talk more about that. And then Philosopher's Note style. So our film genius, Ben, just sent me some samples. So we're going kind of old school. We're setting up the new studio. Again, I kind of make my barn have a cameo every time. But that studio, that is a studio now, has the +1 studio, the Mastery Series. We're going to create a new studio for PNTV, and we're going black and white on it. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to wear a white shirt. It's going to be all white, and then we're going to post-produce it in black and white. We just want to kind of go old school, ancient wisdom, modern science, get out of keep it fresh and modern, of course, but kind of go retro on it and really ground into old school values, right? And then I Googled it and I'm like, what was the last black and white TV show? Can you guess what the last black and white TV show was? Mr. Rogers, one of my heroes. So anyway, PNTV coming back at you live. Well, not quite live, but in black and white. So Aura score 1, 2, 3. Again, it's working. So this little nano thing I'm doing, the PEMF machine back there, I am training my recovery like a world-class professional optimizer, and it's working. Resting heart rate's at 39, heart rate variability 81. I'm going to keep on doing that. So my one is that's working. Keep on doing that. Life is simple. Do more of what works, do less of what doesn't work, etc. Of course, I'm continuing to honor my eating window. And of course, sharing this with you every day has solidified my taking it to the next levelness. Now, here's something funny. So, I learned I need to get that 8 hours of sleep. Don't stay in bed for less than 9 hours. I just always find it funny when it's so similar. So I spent 9 hours and 12 minutes in bed last night, got 7 hours and 55 minutes of sleep. I was a little restless. I worked a little late, so I got a lower sleep score than normal. But the day before was 9 hours and 14 minutes and almost exactly the same amount of sleep. The day before that was 9 hours and 12 minutes and exactly the same amount of sleep. Just makes me laugh. So anyway, that's that. So what are you learning? Know that this is how you change your life. In this book, he goes off on it. I'll talk about it in the Philosopher's Note. It's all about incremental gains, tiny little incremental gains. Gains that you aggregate and compound over an extended period of time make a huge difference. You may not think it's a big deal, but those tiny little gains, those little +1s, ultimately are everything. I'll leave it at that. Of course, did the virtues and then had the wins. Blessed to have some amazing wins. We've got a paper document where we capture them. Apparently, we've got the Canadian men's national soccer team using Optimize and the U.S. men's national soccer team in different ways, which is pretty cool. Just some kind words. So feeling blessed. Also, we'll end this one with, I started my my note on this book, Driven, right? Ben Greenfield recommended it. Alexander got it for me. Here's our quote for today. he actually has the lead quote in the book here. Then I Googled it because I'm like, I don't think that's the guy who actually said that quote. He had it attributed to this guy whose name I can't even pronounce. I Googled it. It's actually Lawrence Pearsall Jacks who said this. A master in the art of living draws no sharp distinction between his work and his play, his labor and his leisure, his mind and his body, his education and his recreation. He hardly knows which is which. He simply pursues his vision of excellence through whatever he is doing and leaves others to determine whether he is working or playing. To himself, he always seems to be doing both. Enough for him that he does it well. Boom, there we go. Dissolve the apparent dichotomies, Abraham Maslow would say, between your work and your play, between your labor and your leisure, your mind and your body, your education and your recreation. That's what it's all about. Self-actualizing, optimizing, in service to becoming the best version of ourselves. That is today's number one. Time to go hang out with the family. Energy, work, and love, identities, virtues, and behaviors. Today, we're going on a Whole Foods adventure for curious souls. Meet us at Austin, Whole Foods in the afternoon. Tomorrow, we're going to the zoo. It's going to be an epic weekend. All right, big love. Have a great weekend. See you.